Hi guys, any kind of research, whether it's academic research or if you're doing research for business, will involve some kind of a systematic inquiry, which requires careful planning. It is a sequence of functionally interrelated activities, some of which may overlap if you think about it chronologically. In today's video, I will present the 6 stages of a research investigation, which is a summary. Of course, I will not go into the details of each stages, but I will explain in a summarized form as to what each stage is and what it comprises of. Stage 1 is the problem discovery and definition. A research problem does not necessarily imply that something is seriously wrong with a current situation and needs to be corrected. It could simply indicate an interest in an issue which, when investigated, might produce answers to improve an existing situation. Thus, it is useful to define a research problem as any situation in which a gap exists between the actual and the desired ideal state. The problem may be derived from the literature, or in the case of applied research, it may be initiated by the management of an organization. It is very important to clearly state the research question and the research objectives, which can also be in the form of a hypothesis. Exploratory research is often used to refine a problem. Some of the basic qualitative techniques used to refine a problem is the use of secondary data, or conducting pilot studies, or using case studies or experience surveys. The second stage is planning the research design. Once the research problem has been defined, you can then plan the research design. This is the master plan, which clearly specifies the methods and procedures for collecting and analyzing the necessary information. The researcher needs to decide whether the investigation will be exploratory, descriptive, or causal in nature. Other aspects that need to be considered are the sources of information, design technique, sampling methodology, and the schedule and cost of the research. The 4 basic design techniques for descriptive and causal research are surveys, experiments, secondary data, and observations. The third stage is the sampling. This is the process of selecting a sufficient number of elements from the population so that by studying the sample, it is possible for you to generalize the properties or characteristics to the entire population. In other words, a sample is a subset of a larger population. There are 2 basic sampling techniques, probability and non-probability sampling. A probability sample is one in which every member of the population has a known or a non-zero probability of selection. If the sample is selected on the basis of personal judgment, then it is a non-probability sample. In actual fact, the sampling decision is not a simple choice between the above or what I have mentioned methods. Several types of samples may be drawn, for example, simple random samples, stratified samples, quota samples, and cluster samples. If you didn't understand what is probability and non-probability sample, let me give you an example. Let's say you are planning to study a class. Alright, a class where there are young elementary students. Probability sample is where you are not making a choice on a judgment. Every student in the class has an equal opportunity to be selected for your research project. However, non-probability sampling would be where you make a judgment and decide that only students who are above a certain age, or maybe who belong to a certain ethnicity, or who are above a certain height, depending of course on your research focus, are going to be selected. Data collection. After formalization of the research design and the sampling plan, data is collected either from the respondents, who are your primary source of data, or you can also collect it from secondary sources where you analyze the secondary data in case you cannot collect primary data for your research. There are several methods of data collection: focus groups, in-depth interviews, surveys, case studies, experiments. The process of collecting data often has 2 phases: pre-testing and the main study. The pre-testing phase is conducted using a small subsample. This is done to determine whether the main data collection procedure is going to be appropriate or not. The next stage is the data processing and the data analysis. Let's talk about processing first. On completion of the fieldwork, the collected data must be converted into a format that will provide answers to the research problem or the hypothesis proposed. The process begins with editing and coding of the data. Editing involves checking the data collection forms for omissions, legibility, and consistency in classification. Next, the data will be coded, which means establishing meaningful categories and character symbols for groups or responses. Coding of the data will facilitate computer or even manual tabulation. Let's talk about analysis now. Analysis is the application of reasoning and logic to interpret the data that has been collected about a certain subject. This process varies from a simple determination of consistent patterns to advanced statistical analysis. The analyzed data have to be interpreted and conclusions drawn. Finally, the last stage of the research investigation includes the conclusion and the result or the report presentation. Once the data has been interpreted, the research results or the research report is written. This report includes the purpose of the study, the background information, research objectives, research questions, hypothesis, explanation, and justification for the research design, as well as presentation of findings and recommendations. You may also be required or involved in an oral presentation, whether it's an academic research or a business research. Oral presentation will allow you to interact with the audience for which your research is catered, or who will judge your quality of research, and where you can provide justification of research. And this is the stage where you will know how much you know about your research topic. So guys, I thought I will present these stages in a simple way for you to understand, so that you can plan for each of these stages depending on which stage you are in, and making sure that all these stages are included in your research investigation, whether it's for academic studies or whether it's simply for your workplace where you are being tasked to research on a specific topic. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you soon with my next video. Bye for now.